Welcome back to the Joy of Painting with Hunter Swanson. Today, you'll need your 8 brush, your fan brush, your praying paints, and some tempera cakes. You might also want to grab out your palette and make some custom colors if you want to. Today, let's start off by making some mighty mountains. You can get your 8 brush wet. Grab some black from tempera or praying, doesn't really matter. They're almost the same. And you can just make some mighty old mountains. Now make sure they're nice and black. You're going to want your mountains black for anytime you're making them out of watercolor. Because when they're black like this, and you mix them with white, you get some gray. Now you can clean off your brush, make sure it's nice and clean. For white, white's an important color that we have. You can't have it getting wet all the time. Because if even a small bit of black gets in your white, that's ruined. Then it becomes gray. That's fine, sure. But then how are you going to make clouds? How are you going to make some light? You always got to have some darkness and some light. You can't have darkness without some light.
What's he eating?
Cardboard, yes. Well, it's our little dog of the day. Ways you can clean up your brush. Clean off your brush, and why don't you go ahead and get some more white on it. Why don't we go over the water again? Really make it shine. Why don't you go ahead, put some clouds in the sky. It's okay. Yeah, perfect. Just little clumps of white. Why don't we give our mountain a little highlight? Remember, always small on one side. Maybe it's not showing a lot. Then, the other side. But maybe it's a big old snowy mountain. You never know. Now, here comes our mixing. Remember to wash your brush. Because you'll be using your 8 brush a lot. Why don't you go ahead on your palette or tray. Doesn't really matter what you use. If you're well off, you might have a palette. If you're not well off, you might, or even if you're well off, you might choose a plate. Doesn't really matter. Choose a little place to mix your colors. Why don't you take a little deep green maybe some sap green too. Doesn't really matter how it is. Why don't you mix it together with whatever you got? It doesn't really matter what you get, because it's your painting. You do what you want to do. If you want some dark trees, it's fine. I personally use lighter colors because they're easier to see on the camera. Yeah, maybe a little more. I mean, y'all are gonna have your own little recipes for paint. Maybe you have a blue that you really like. Looks like a good green. Meaning, you can take your fan brush. These mountains are quite dry. You can take your fan brush, load it up with this stuff. Kind of just pop it down. If you ever need more, you can take some more from your palette. Maybe go up a bit. Maybe some trees are sticking up. Make sure to fill it up. You don't want too much white space on the canvas. And now, I do believe it's time for some highlights. So why don't you take your sap green? Why don't we put just a little bit. You don't want too much. Especially if you're using oil or some gouache. Because those paints, those can't be reactivated. Unlike watercolor, right? And that's why I like watercolor. Now if you want, you can beat the devil out of your fan brush to make sure it's really good to use. Now just little highlights. Highlights on these trees. Now you can clean off your fan brush after you're done with that. And then you can step back and take a nice long breath and take a look at your painting. I'll see you next time on The Joy of Painting with Hunter Swanson.